Happy Labor Day, traders. This is the Stock Sumo reporting an update with BlueHorseshoeStocks.com. Hope you're having a fun and safe holiday, however you're spending it. It's been a heck of a summer here at Blue Horseshoe Stocks with successful winning trade ideas on a consistent basis. PBR, which we've tracked since March, catching it off its 10-year lows in the low $11 range, is a prime example. The dip and rip action in PBR since then has been amazing, and our call option strategies have been on point, proven to be profitable ideas over and over again. Our most recent alert on PBR were the January $19 calls. We're up another 10%, closing at $244 on Friday, racking in over 90% in gains since we first alerted them, as PBR hit a new high of 1974 on Friday. So we definitely want to continue to keep an eye on PBR heading into this next week. Looks like it's ready to push past that $20 mark. Another few recent winners that have came in off of our scanner we've been monitoring is JRJC and DGLY, both of which have had wild volatility action in the past few weeks since we first caught them. As the summer winds down, kids in the Northeast head back to school. It's that time of year again where the OTC markets always tend to pick back up. So we'll be paying closer attention to the OTC, as that has always been our specialty. We will continue to strive to separate ourselves from the other stock newsletter sites by staying well diversified, tracking various big board and option plays that show up through our rigorous scans. That brings us to DIGX, which was signaled on our penny scanner the end of last week, and we want to monitor this play into this week. Now let's break down the DIGX chart. Back in February and March, this one had a big move up from super sub penny all the way up to around 008 range, and that's going to be our key resistance. Notice after this big run here in the beginning of the year, it consolidated, held support above that 200-day moving average, and bounced back up a couple of times here. Basically ran up to that, close to that resistance that we've seen in the past. So that's going to be our key resistance going forward at 008. And if we get past that, it's going to be known as what's called a blue sky breakout, and there's no telling where DIGX could run to. Right now we see it holding its gains from Thursday and Friday, two solid candles there. We're trading back above the 50, 100, and 200 day has been our support here these past couple of months. So if we see any pullbacks out of DIGX, we want to see it hold support off of these ranges in order to see that positive trend stay intact. Notice the RSI is coming off of support at that 50 line. That's always a good, strong sign. And we got that RSI pointing north. Looks like it wants to head into the power zone possibly this week. Notice it tested that area recently on this past run, and it's heading back up into that area. Back in this first run early this year though, notice that RSI hung out in that power zone for quite a bit there. So we see that MACD showing divergence. These lines are splitting apart. So we're getting that separation in the MACD. A little pickup in volume and momentum. Notice the volume bar started to pick up. We got some late day buying Friday, caused it to close at the highs. Traded 2.8 million shares on Friday. Notice it had some big volume here just a couple of weeks back when it had that first big spike up, and after that consolidation it held higher lows, which is always a good sign. We like seeing higher highs and higher lows, which it looks like this is setting up. Accumulation distribution has been somewhat plateaued here, flatline, had a pickup back here when we had that big spike, and as you can see here we're getting a pickup in accumulation and distribution. So DIGX, definitely want to keep DIGX underground on our radar this week. If you're not familiar with our site, BlueHorseshoeStocks.com, and while you're visiting our site, it's always a good idea to click on our disclaimer for disclosure purposes. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck out there.